Hi, readers. We are back at it today, and this is going to sound familiar as a lot of our lessons with Diamond Daniel have, because remember, we are practicing all of those strategies we learned with Opal, but we are putting on our opal colored glasses as we are reading and comparing everything we find out about Diamond to Opal. That means finding similarities and finding differences. And just like when we finished Because of Winn-Dixie, we paused to think, what lessons did Opal learn in this story that I can also take away? We're going to do that with Diamond too, and we're going to be comparing that to our experience with Opal. And what I think you'll find, readers, as we compare these lessons and themes, that possibly some of the characters that you're reading about in your book clubs or your independent reading are learning these same lessons, which makes sense. And here's why. Authors of kids' books want their readers to see themselves and their experiences in the stories that they write. So they think, what is something that my readers will relate to? And then they can write stories about those things. So what that means is that the characters in a lot of books that you read will also often face similar challenges and learn similar lessons, such as the ones we're going to be exploring today. So, always like to see how we're doing, how we're progressing with our learning. Just want to point out to you that as we had to go back to the text for evidence when we compared Opal and Diamond with our Venn diagram, we also are going to return to the text to compare the lessons that our characters learned right here, right? We're going to talk about how other story elements are partly the same and partly different. We're going to really stretch our brains to find not only pretty obvious general similarities, but specific ones from the text and specific differences as we look at these two characters and what they've learned. So, to the text we go. I want us to listen together to a part of chapter 8 where Diamond makes it obvious to the readers a lesson that she's learned. So let's take a listen.
That evening, Diamond took out her photo album and turned to her favorite picture of Alicia. "I still miss you," she said to the picture. "But guess what? I've got a best friend here, too. His name is Free." The next day was Saturday, and Diamond knew exactly how she wanted to spend it. She picked up the telephone and dialed Free's number. Mrs. Freeman answered, then handed the phone to Free.
Readers, I hope you're thinking what I'm thinking. Diamond Daniel is learning how to say goodbye to someone. And if you have your opal-colored glasses on, you probably are remembering a time when Opal did the same thing. We always return to the text, though, so let's take a peek. Now here in chapter 26, Diamond is returning to Gloria Dump's bottle tree and having that really important conversation with her mom. "Mama," I said, just like she was standing right beside me, "I know 10 things about you, and that's not enough. That's not near enough. But Daddy is going to tell me more. I know he will, now that he knows you're not coming back. He misses you, and I miss you, but my heart doesn't feel empty anymore. It's full all the way up. I'll still think about you, I promise, but probably not as much as I did this summer." Wow, friends, that sounds so familiar to exactly what Diamond said. In fact, what we heard a couple moments ago was Diamond saying this. "I still miss you," she said to the picture, "but guess what? I've got a best friend here too. His name is Free." Readers, it really causes me to believe that there are some strong similarities between our character of Diamond and Opal, as they learn that when you decide you're not going to hold on to the past anymore, it doesn't mean that you are getting rid of all of your emotions and feelings about missing the past and missing possibly a person, but that moving forward means you could have happiness as well if you can open up your heart to others. Remember when I said we were going to stretch our brains a little bit, trying to find similarities and differences? Let's go back to our learning progression. I can talk about how the story elements are partly the same. Check, we've done that already. But let's pause and think if there are any differences that we can identify. When I really look at the way each of these characters is saying goodbye, I notice that there is a little bit of difference between them, right? Opal's mom is probably never going to come back, which makes her goodbye in a lot of ways feel a lot sadder to readers than Diamond's goodbye to Alicia, which Diamond can still see her friend. She knows where she is. She's just missing her because she won't see her as often. So, here's my challenge to you. I'm going to give you a couple of passages exploring lessons that Diamond learned and exploring lessons that Opal learned. Stretch your brain to try to find similarities and differences between the life lessons or the themes that these two authors are trying to teach us as readers.